Okay, let's get started collaging. Now, for this tutorial, I'm going to use the wooden tag, and I have some pieces from the Lost and Found paper stack from Tim Holtz, just some of the little vintage car tags. So I'm going to throw a couple of these in here. You can just soak them down in that beeswax that's nice and melted, and let them sit in there for just a minute and get nice and soaked up. See how I just pulled this out? I don't know if you can see that, but it's already dried. That beeswax dries really, really, really fast. Really, really fast. So I'm just going to pull one out. If I can grab it. Oh, wait, sorry, I forgot a step. Okay. For this, the first thing I need to do is just kind of heat up this wood a little bit. It just helps the I'm sorry, I don't know why I feel like I have a frog on my throat, but the wax reacts better if your surface is already a little warm. That's one reason wood is really good for this, because it'll retain the heat. So I'm just going to kind of go over this part just to kind of warm this wood up a little bit, so that when I lay that down, it'll grab in there real good. So I'm just going to go over this wood real quick just to give it a little heat. I mean, it's not hot, it's just warm. Okay, so let me grab this piece again. They're kind of hard to pick up, but so I'm just going to throw that down on there, put it where I want it, let it get down on there, and then I'm going to use my scraper and take off that excess wax and try to prevent that little paper from moving. And I'm just going to throw that wax back in here because it can melt back down, just like with UT. So I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. Grab these, no random order, nothing special about them. I just want to collage this. These two want to stick together. Get away! So I'm just going to sit those down on there. And scrape that off. And you see it is, you know, it's kind of fast. Well, it can be fast. But I really don't care, you know, where they go, because I have several pieces, because I do want to collage this whole background. And I want to keep my tweezers cleaned off too. Just lay them down. Throw some more in here. Well, don't throw them on top of each other. That won't work. Don't turn it upside down. So I'm just going to let these, again, sit down in here for a minute. I don't want to put too many in here because then it'll be harder to get out. I'm sure most of you have probably done flowers, so you know how it is about getting stuff out of here, especially if you have it too packed. Okay. You pull this wax off. This one that I laid down, I let it sit a little longer before I scraped it so that it could adhere to the wood a little better. That was much better. It didn't move like the other ones did. Trial and error, practice, practice. So I'm going to pull these out. Maybe, maybe not. Just kidding. Pull these out. Throw them on here. Throw them on here. And I will confess, this is kind of a special project that I'm doing, and I needed a couple other license plates. So a couple of these are ones that I found online and printed out. So that's why a couple of them don't belong to this paper, but that's fine. Okay, so let me scrape these. They're cool. Just to get off that excess and to help that image show through. Don't let it dry too much, because then it will be too hard to scrape off the excess. And these are printed on just like copy paper, so these are wanting to act funny. I might not be able to use these, as to where the others are on that lost and found paper, which is on a decent weight cardstock. But it's okay. Perfectly imperfect. I like that saying. Perfectly imperfect. My oldest child taught me that saying. She likes art, and she likes a lot of abstract art, and she says it's perfectly imperfect. That's kind of her thing. Now these layered ones need a little help, I think, in staying down, since they're not on the flat surface. And I think I also probably need to heat this wood up. I've never done this on wood, so this is a newer experience for me in using this wood piece. But I think it's going to be good. I'm going to pull these out because these are printed. I thought I had a cool like red one. I guess not. So anyway, y'all get the idea of how to do this. And once I finish laying my pieces down, I'll come back and show you how to finish it off. I won't bore you and make you sit there and watch me do this for 20 or however many minutes. So I'll be back in a few. Okay everyone, I'm back. I got my wooden tag covered in the license plate pieces that I wanted to use. After I got it all covered, what I did was I took the paintbrush and dipped it in the beeswax, and I did a coating over the whole tag to try to fill in some of these spaces that are from the first layer. And once it was mostly dry, not completely dry, I used the scraper and I scraped it off. And then I used the heat tool and went over it just really quickly, just to make sure that there weren't any really white ones. and I scraped those off so that you could see the states easier. And then I had the completed tag. And going over it also helps to fuse them together, all the individual pieces. Not so much to remelt it. You really don't want to remelt it. You just want to kind of fuse them together. It kind of makes the wax melt just a little bit, just to make each one of them stick together. So that's my finished tag and the completion of this tutorial. I am going to go and set up for the second tutorial for the beeswax, which is something that pretty much everybody can do, even if you don't have a melting pot, and I think you'll really like it. So thanks for watching this tutorial, and I hope it helps you, and have a great day.